France is day 750 of the unprovoked Russian invasion of Ukraine, and the situation in Belgrade keeps looking really bad for the Russian terrorists. The footage provided by the Russian freedom fighters confirmed that the terrorist Russian troops decided to follow the advice of the Pope Francis and raised white flag in the Russian village identified as Spodaryushino and located not far from the Russian-Ukrainian border in the Belgorod Oblast. Meanwhile, in the liberated Russian town of Tetkino, several road checkpoints were prepared to provide security for the traffic. It was reported that the armed men were seen checking departing and arriving Russian vehicles. Just to remind you, 2 days ago the Russian propaganda disseminated misinformation about eliminating all Russian freedom fighters. Also, several Russian bot farms started spreading fakes, claiming that the successful operation conducted by the freedom fighters has been staged in Ukraine. In the meantime, the citizens of Belgorod of Russia keep evacuating, and the fighting in the town of Tetkino is escalating exponentially. Numerous Russian troops arrived to the city of Belgorod. It's been reported that the Russian terrorists are concentrated at the central rail station, not letting their own citizens leave the city for safety. Just a minute ago, the terrorist federation hit Sumy and Kharkiv using ballistic missiles. As of this moment, we have no details on the casualties, but we'll keep you updated on that. Both Russian and Ukrainian sources report that at least 10 Russian terrorists were eliminated in the occupied town of Trykh-Izbinka, Luhansk Oblast, due to a missile strike. And unfortunately, we don't have more details about the missiles or time of the strike, but I suspect it was HIMARS time. Deputy head of the Russian Security Council and former puppet dictator of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, announced the so-called Russian peace formula for Ukraine. Known for being extremely passionate for alcohol, this individual proposed Ukraine to capitulate, pay out the reparations to the Russian Federation for the consequence of its failed invasion of Ukraine, and proclaimed the unification with the terrorist federation as part of its territory. Now, to all the conspiracists who believe in NATO expansion, European warmongers, American biolabs and Ukrainian Nazi, it's a good time to admit you were simply brainwashed by the Russians who only want the Ukrainian territory. It's okay to admit it and become better people, because the Russian propaganda is a really strong weapon. The Security Service of Ukraine exposed another Russian spy network within the FSB-affiliated Russian church in Ukraine. The investigators received instructions and handbooks provided by the FSB to active members of the church, explaining the details of their tasks. Among them, the Kremlin planned to prepare a campaign to misinform the United Nations about the fake repressions against Christianity in Ukraine. Together with my group of the Propaganda Study Institute, we made a report about the Russian FSB infiltrating the US through the Russian Orthodox Church. If you still haven't seen it, please check out the link in the description below. And the information about Vitaly Robertus, vice president of the Russian company Lukoil, who allegedly died during the drone strike in Belgorod, wasn't confirmed. According to the Russian sources, he was found hanged, making Robertus allegedly fifth Lukoil-affiliated top manager who mysteriously died in Russia in the past 2 years, together with almost 500 Russian oligarchs and generals. My friends, with that I wish you all a beautiful day. I'm Operator Starsky. As always, be safe.